I'm going to do a quick syllabus walkthrough. If you want to click on the syllabus in your Canvas shell here, and this is where this video is going to live. I highly recommend downloading and printing the syllabus because it's going to tell you all of the dates for everything and everything you really need to know about this course. So I'm just going to walk through the important parts and hopefully clarify some things if they are unclear for you. So the lecture for this course is online, it's asynchronous, so you do not have to log into any specific times on Zoom. Your lab is from 2 to 4:50 on Mondays and Wednesdays in ICN 1404. You do have to go to lab. If you don't go to lab, you cannot get credit for this course. It is part of the course. So I'm going to talk about me. My name is Donnie Kisselberg, and my office is in ICN 2007. I'm really here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. The office hours are going to be the best way to get a hold of me and to send me emails. Okay, my phone number is here, but email is going to be the easiest way to get a hold of me. So my office hours are going to be Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. in ICN 1003, which is just down the hall from where your lab is. The first 2 weeks, though, it's going to be 8:30 to 9:30 because my kids have swim lessons, but those are going to be your office hours this semester. This is your textbook link. It's free online. You do not have to purchase a textbook for this course. If you want to, I can give you recommendations if you need like a paper textbook. But this textbook is based on a paper textbook. It's the TRO version of Chemistry, a Molecular Approach. And we're using really like the second half of the book. So this is where you're going to find all that information. I don't teach from the textbook, but if you need a textbook, this is where you want to look. You also don't have to purchase the lab manual for Gen Chem 2. You can, they have it at the bookstore if you want the actual lab manual, but the PDF will be provided to you by your lab instructor. And if it's not, just let me know, I can share it with you. And what I would do is I would take that document to the library and just print the whole thing at the beginning of the semester. So you have all of the labs printed because you are going to have to turn those into Kingsley during lab. Okay. You do need to also purchase the online homework program. Now this you do have to buy. This is the only thing you have to buy for this class. We're using active chemistry, and if you don't have it, you can't get the homework points. So this is where you sign up. You just make a new account unless you already have an account. And it's about $40 through the website. If you go through the bookstore, it's going to be about $48. And our course code is KAMV7U. So use that code to log into my course. There's nothing posted there yet, but you will need it. Now you have about 2 weeks to actually pay for it. But again, you can't get those homework points unless you purchase it. So make sure you get that. And you, of course, have to have a scientific calculator. I highly recommend for this course to have a TI 89. That solve button, that solve feature is going to be really helpful in some of the problems. You can do it without, but it is much easier if you actually have that calculator. All right, so these are all the things we're going to learn. I'm going to go through. You can read those if you want to. This is kind of our outline for all of the new material that you are going to be learning this semester. Some of these are broken down into like 2 modules on Canvas because there's a lot of information. Acids and bases equilibria is a big section. And there's another one that's for chemical equilibrium is also a lot of information. So I've kind of broken it down. Okay. These are the labs that you're going to be completing, and they kind of match up with what we're talking about in lecture. So they should go order-wise. Now, that being said, you might need to do the module first in order to understand what's going on in the lab. So I will kind of guide you through which ones you should be doing before, which labs. So hopefully you can understand what's going on. Course policy wise, the refund period is June 5th through June 9th. So that's when you can drop without penalty. At midterm, if you've missed 2 weeks of not logging in or doing anything, or you've missed 3 labs or haven't done more than 60% of the work, you will get dropped from the course. I don't anticipate this happening, but if it does, I will hopefully be talking to you to see like where you've been and what's going on. So don't stress about that. Method of evaluation, right? The most important thing on here is how do you get your grade? So first I want to point out that a D is a 65%. You do have to have a 65% in order to pass, and you have to have a 65% in both lecture and lab. If you fail the lab, but you pass the lecture, you cannot pass the course. If you fail the course, but pass the lab, you cannot pass the course. Okay, so you do have to pass the lab and the lecture in order to get credit for the course. So this is our breakdown. You got 5% of your grade is from active chemistry assignments. This is your like online homework. It gives you feedback. There's 13 total assignments, 1 for each module, and you get to drop 2 of them. So whichever 2 or lowest, or if you just don't do 2 of them, I don't recommend that. Practice worksheets, you get to drop 1 of 8. There will be 8 total worksheets. There are 4 group quizzes, which is really like a review before the exam. You can work as a group and you can turn them in as a group. So those points you should get. You get to drop 1 of the 4 exams, just like we did in Chem 161, and that's 30% of your grade. There's a special topics paper and presentation that you have to give at the end of the semester. That's 5%. Lab work is 30% this semester, and final exam is worth 20%. Okay? You usually have to take the final. If you don't take it, then you get 0 of those 20% of your grade. So some expectations: you're expected to spend roughly 12 to 16 hours weekly engaging with material for this course, excluding lab time. Now, what that means is you should be putting in the time, the effort to learn this material by watching the lecture videos, doing the practice. And yes, that's going to take you from 12 to 16 hours each week. This is a lot of content, and this is difficult content. If you don't put in the time, you will not be able to pass the exams. So if you have questions, please let me know. That's what I'm here for this summer. But you can't expect to just try to do the homework and then do the tests and pass. It won't happen. So whatever I tell you to do in the modules, just do that. And if you do that, you shouldn't have any trouble passing. Okay. The online homework, active chemistry. So if you took 161 with me last semester, we did not use this, but active chemistry is way better than what I've used before. It gives you instant feedback. And if you have questions, I can answer them. I'm happy to go over whatever it is you want to. But active chemistry gives good feedback and is a little bit more user-friendly. Practice worksheets, you are going to have 8, I don't remember how many, but you're going to have worksheets that you're going to need to turn in. You'll get participation points for those, and then I will post the key so you can like check your answers. Group quizzes are what we're doing in lieu of review, and you can turn that in to get the points for those. I will grade those, but again, you can work as a group and turn in 1. The special topics paper at the end of the semester, you will be writing a paper based on a peer-reviewed article that you get to choose, and then you're going to present it to the class. I'll make a video about that later. And exams. So if you haven't taken an online course with me, your exams are going to be taken in the testing center, which means you need to schedule your exams with the testing center. The testing window is going to be very clear in the syllabus, and I'll post a video a little bit more on how to do all of this, but you have to take what they tell you to take. You have to be prepared or you cannot take the exam. Okay. You get about 4 days, 5 days maybe for each exam to make sure that you schedule it and take it. And if you miss that testing window, that is your dropped exam, period. You do not get to go back and take it. You just take a 0 for that, and that gets to be your dropped exam. Don't miss any of the exams. Okay. Final exam is multiple choice and it's not optional. If missed, you will receive a score of 0. Now, this being said, I do have the exam windows on your lab days, so you should be able to take the exam on a day that you are here for lab. But yeah, late assignments lose 10% each week they are late, starting the day after they are due, and I will not accept it 2 weeks after the due date. Pretty self-explanatory. So keep track of your dates, which are all right here. Okay, so there's about 3 to 4, mostly 3 modules for each exam, except for the first one. And you need to get through these before you get to the testing window. So what this is going to be is the module 1, like it tells you everything you're going to do in the module. And then these are all of your assignment dates. So the red ones are your active chemistry assignments. The blue ones are worksheets. So for example, in module 1, you just have an active chemistry assignment. In module 2, you have a worksheet and an active chemistry assignment. You'll notice the due dates are all Sundays at 11:59 p.m. For any of the modules like homework and that. So the first week, you have 2 modules. The second week, you have 2 modules. And then some of them are 2 modules, some of them are 1 module. You just have to pay attention to the due dates. Usually when you have an exam during a week, you only have 1 module, but you can kind of watch those. So all the homework starting on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. And then for the exam reviews, so what I'm going to do is have the review, the group quiz is due on the last day of the exam. So the exams are open from a Friday to a Wednesday. So you can take it on that Friday, or you can take it on that Monday, that Tuesday, or that Wednesday. You do need to schedule it. You can do it on Monday or Wednesday when you're here for lab, or you could be on top of it and do it that Friday, but that's when all of those exams are going to be open and when the review is due. All right, and then like this week you have one module, this week you have two. So all of those dates are going to be clearly communicated on Canvas as well. All right, so I would print this, I will go by the schedule, I will not change due dates on you. Okay. Everything is pretty consistent. Sundays at 11:59 p.m. and then exams are going to be Friday to Wednesday, when Wednesday is going to be the due date for the group quiz. Special topics paper, I will post a video for. Those are due the Sunday before finals week. And then exam 4, you can take that Friday through the Wednesday of finals week. And also the final exam is going to be Monday through Wednesday of finals week. Okay, if you have questions, let me know. You also have the lab calendar down here. Notice we do not have lab on Monday, the 19th. There are no other days with no lab, so you should expect to be there for the full 3 hours on those Mondays and Wednesdays. Now, some of them you'll get done early, but you need to make sure that you have that full 3 hours to complete the lab. Okay. Your lab instructor is Kingsley, and Kingsley will be very clear about all of the dates and everything that you need and when things are due, and he is very good at staying on top of grading. So you'll see what we're doing in each lab and how they match up with the modules. So for example, on Monday, you're going to be doing titration of vitamin C. This goes with the review of Chem 161. This is like a stoichiometry type review. This one, you're doing kinetics, which means you should probably be working on the kinetics module before you do this, so you know what's going on. If you don't actually do the information on lecture before the lab, you're going to be very, very confused. So I highly recommend getting on top of the lecture materials, and that is about it. Good luck.